Good morning. Another Monday morning. And after a lovely weekend, actually. A mixed weekend. All sorts going on. Alfie got very, very wet on one of the days. And muddy, which has got to be good, I think. And excitement. Excitement that the holiday website is up and running, I have to say. So that's BMB Holidays. Yes, I have been warning you it's going to be up and running soon. I know some of you went on over the weekend because it was live from about midday on Saturday, but that's what we call a soft launch. A few of you going on, but do go and have a look at the holidays and let me see if I can show you. I mean, there's our little home page there, which you may have seen. And then you're able to go through the various events. And the most important thing, of course, is the UK events. And we're starting with a few. And you can have a look at those, and particularly we've got a couple of in October and November, and then of course the festive season. We're going to do Christmas and New Year, and we've got the same old hotels. We're going to be looking for new hotels in the future. To start with, I thought we'd go to tried and trusted ones, although the Cornwall event, which as a number of you found is sold out now, but that's a new venture. But we've got the Isle of Wight in Trouville, we've got Denham Grove, we've got the Old Barn up in Lincolnshire, and the two bridges in Dartmoor. But as I say, do look out for more, and you'll see the various options as you go there. So hopefully you'll enjoy that site as well. It's something to have a little look around. You can see some of the hosts and the various elements there. So and don't forget, I mean, yes, you can book online and do all that, but we're always here. We've got a nice team who love answering questions and chatting, etc. So do if you're confused or you want more information, do please contact the office and we can help you as well, because that's what we've always done in the past. When I've been working with Mr. Bridge, and a lot of the team have been there. We love to help and to be a friendly family company, and that's what we hope to go into the future with our cruises, our holidays aboard, and of course UK breaks. And it is exciting, I have to say. So the first one's in October. And I suppose you could say that's not so far away now. Let's hope that May goes well for us all, and June then goes well as well. And after that, I think we'll all feel, hopefully we'll all feel confident. So we will see. So lots to think about. What are we going to do? Well, today we've got the usual hand evaluation, and then we're looking at roughing. And then obviously we will have a little tip of the day and then our bidding quiz at the end. So let's start where we often start, which is this one. And that is the hand that I left you with on Friday, those of you who were with me on Friday. Of course, at the moment on Fridays, we are talking about blocking and unblocking. Blocking and unblocking as defenders. So that's what we're looking at on the Fridays. So how do you feel about this hand is the question, hand evaluation. And I think it's quite an interesting one. There's a lot of different ways of expressing how you feel about the hand. None of which are rude particularly, but we'll look at that in a moment. And we will put it in the context of a hand and see how we did feel about it, and whether your feelings, as it were, went the same way as my feelings. Okay. So let's come back to me. I'm trying to order things neatly now. I've got a big piece of paper telling me. The other piece of news and information for the site, for the Bernard Magee Bridge site for members, etc., is that we are going to be playing, hopefully from the June the 1st, and I'll outline things, but you will have the opportunity to play some bridge, just some little games, some 8-board games and 12-board games, and maybe one 16-board game or so, just to give you the chance to play with the members if you want to. One or two of those will be deliberately slower, so for novice intermediates kind of thing. So that's something to sort of think about. So from June the 1st, we'll have 4 or 5 games a week at regular slots, and if you do fancy a game, they'll be on BBO. There will be a charge for them, as you can imagine, for your normal duplicates, and then everything will be displayed on the site in the normal way on a Bridgeweb's site on our site, but you can see it either way. And the plan is then to integrate that with various events. So if we're playing somewhere, we can play online as well, and people can play the same hands as their friends that are on our site. So there's all sorts of things. And also I might play the odd game, maybe get some of the team, various people to play games and maybe report on the odd hands. There's lots of things one can do. And to be honest, a lot of it's going to be based on your feedback. I may find that none of you fancy a game, in which case we'll stop it, and that's the lovely thing. Anyway, I'm going to go to PowerPoint. Enough about me. Ruffing for extra tricks. Ruffing for extra tricks. That's what we're doing on the board. I mean, I love over tricks, and so much of this is about over tricks, really. And the question that we're asking now is taking risks for ruffs. It's not easy to assess, but if in doubt, an over trick is worth its weight in gold for the most part. So extra tricks are worth the trouble. The difference between 4 spades making, which will often be an average, and 4 spades plus 1, which is often going to be 100%, is so different when you're playing rubber bridge or teams where you don't care about the odd over trick. It's worth so little. Playing pairs, it's so valuable. And I'm afraid to say greed is good when you play pairs. That's why a lot of people, in a sense, a lot of experts prefer almost the teams game, because this idea of greed is, you know, is odd, but it does work. But of course, if you're going to make extra tricks from ruffing, you do need to delay trumps, and whenever you delay trumps, you've got to assess whether it's risky or not. Okay. Ruffing high, ruffing low, of course, as well. If you're going to delay trumps, should you ruff high? Should you ruff low? There's various things you've got to decide. My general theory is to side on the edge of risk. Now, I don't mean if it's a 50-50 chance, but if things are normal, so we're going to look at this hand here with the Queen of Hearts lead. If things are normal, well then go for it. So have a look at this hand, see how you feel, and see what you think your plan would be. Okay, so 4 spades by West, Queen of Hearts lead. 4 spades by West, Queen of Hearts lead. What do you think? So let's start with the top tricks, of course. 7 top tricks. Okay, I'm only counting ace, king, queen in both spades and diamonds, and then the ace of hearts. Okay. You're expecting, hopefully, to make 2 more long trumps. So that's 9 tricks. Okay. It's not unreasonable. A lot of people saying ruff 2 hearts. And what's important here, and it's important to ruff them low, so we're going to take some risks. But the important, first and foremost, every time we ruff in the east hand, we're gaining a trick. I hope everybody's happy with that. And of course, those of you who looked at the seminar, something I deliberately emphasised at the beginning. We love ruffing in the short trump hand. Clearly, to make the contract, you need 1 heart ruff, but we're looking to be greedy when we play duplicate pairs. Okay, so we don't draw trumps, and the key is we are going to try to ruff both hearts, and again we have to ruff them small. Okay, we have to ruff them small. So hearts, I think it's reasonable, and not only are hearts we don't expect to be over ruffed. Remember, I haven't given you the bidding, but let's assume there hasn't been any massive overcalls. Well, if North had 7 hearts, maybe North would have bid and that kind of thing. So we expect the hearts to be okay. How do you get from hand to hand? And it's a simple plan. If we're going to ruff 2 hearts small, then we have to use diamond entries to take the ruffs. And so what we do is we plan in our head. We're going to win the ace of hearts. We're going to ruff a heart. We play a diamond to the ace. We would then ruff another heart. We could cash the Queen of Spades. Could have done that earlier, I suppose. Cash the Queen of Spades at some point. But we then have to cross to the Queen of Diamonds as well. So we are taking a certain risk. And as someone suggested, what we need is a 4-2 diamond break. But a 4-2 diamond break or a 3-3 diamond break is a lot of the time. It is a huge amount of the time. And it is therefore a completely reasonable risk to take. I mean, probably probabilities-wise, more than 80% of the time. More than 80% of the time, you should comfortably be able to make two heart ruffs. And that's crucial because making 11 tricks, or 12, don't forget, if the diamonds break 3-3, you'll end up with 12 tricks because you'll discard a club on the 4th round of diamonds. So you're being greedy, and 1 in 10 times probably someone will ruff or over ruff or do something like that. But I don't mind. 1 in 10 times I get a bottom. 9 in 10 times I'm getting closer to a top. So the key here is to remember every time you ruff in the short trump hand, with a low trump of course, you're gaining a trick. I'm going to show you the full hand. It's just a completely normal layout of the hand. Okay? You finished in 4 spades, and if you can ruff the 2 hearts low, you'll make 11 tricks. Okay? And if the diamonds break, actually I played it out on the computer. I could play it for you here now, but I'm going to play a couple of later ones on the Q+ software for you. Here, it turned out that North ended up discarding a diamond right at the end of the hand, and I did make 12 tricks. I made the 4th round of diamonds as well. Okay, so ruffing in the short trump hand and being greedy. So you are taking risks, but they are relatively minimal. How big a risks would we take? Probably 25% I'd be happy to risk. You know, because if I expect, now this is slightly different because not everybody might be in 4 spades, but let's say everybody, if you think everybody's in 4 spades, okay, well then, you know, some people, I mean, Lewis is saying, well, everybody will get over-ruffed if you are. Well, not everybody will go for the over tricks. That's what I'm saying. So not everybody will be pursuing both over tricks. Quite a lot of people playing pairs bridge don't really know the tactics, and they think, well, if I can make 4 spades here, that's really good news. Okay, if I can make 4 spades, I'm happy. Okay, you know, and so they'll take 1 heart ruff and think, oh, I've gained a trick, and they'll be happy with that. But what I don't want you to be happy with that. I want you to be pursuing 2, and of course it's quite important to pursue 2 actually for another reason, because trumps might break nastily for you, and if they do, you may find you needed that 2nd heart ruff just to make the contract. Because it's all well and good thinking about bad diamond breaks and bad heart breaks. Well, you might get a bad spade break, in which case I think you might need those 2 heart ruffs to make the contract. Okay, so that one hopefully relatively straightforward, but concentrating on ruffing in the short trump hand. So ace of hearts, heart ruff with the 2 of spades, the queen of spades, then a diamond to the ace, another heart ruff, and then a diamond to the queen to draw trumps. Okay, here the best lead, I mean, ace of clubs would work on the hand, but a trump lead would probably work better for the opponents, but it doesn't make much difference on this hand. Okay, but the ace of clubs lead would happen to work, be okay. I think they'll make 1 extra trick and keep you to 10 tricks if they need the ace of clubs. Okay. The spade lead will still allow us to make our 11 tricks, hopefully. Club lead, because it will go ace, king, and another club if necessary. That would actually be a trump promotion. Okay. All right, on this occasion, I'm not going to play that one if that's okay, because I've got these ones where I want to focus on as well. So let's have a look at this one. 4 spades by West again, and you've got the 4 of diamonds lead. Okay, so it's 4 spades by West and the 4 of diamonds lead. Okay, and again, I want you to make a plan, and we're going to look at 3 hands here. Okay, and see, what do you think of that one? Just grabbing up the deals I need. Okay. Okay, so how many top tricks? We have 10 top tricks here. So that's nice and simple. And the question what I want to ask you, and this is important, is I need you to first identify what the lead is. Okay, and I'm hoping you're happy with what the lead is, because that's going to be crucial to your decision. Okay, because it looks to me that that lead, I mean, we can get extra tricks from diamonds or ruffs. I hope everyone... So we've got 10 tricks. We're not just giving up there. Now, I've counted 10 tricks because I'm hoping the spades will break 4-1 or 3-2. Of course, they could break 5-0. Okay, that's another matter, and we'll come to that. Okay, I think that 4 of diamonds is a singleton. I mean, if it looks like a singleton, smells like a singleton, and rhymes with singleton, it probably is singleton. Okay, so I think that's a singleton. So what we've got to decide is, are you happy if they ruff? Because if we give away a heart, surely either of them can win, and one of them is going to get a ruff. Given that the 4 of diamonds would be an unusual lead from Queen, I mean, from Queen Jack to 4, it wouldn't be the 4 of diamonds. If it was Queen 10 to 4, they might choose it. It's unusual. Jack 10 to 4, they wouldn't lead it. It would have to be specifically from Queen 10, 5, 4. Whereas the fact, surely more likely, it's going to be a singleton. So I would say it's probably 8-1 on, possibly as much as that, a singleton. So is there a problem? I don't think there is. I think North's got a singleton. So if I win the ace of diamonds, I could duck a heart. Can you see that then if South leads and gives North a ruff, this is where it gets tough. He's not ruffing a winner. He would be ruffing 2 small cards. We usually we're going to have to lose the 3rd round of diamonds anyway. Well, if they ruff a diamond and we don't have to use our ace and king on it, we're happy. Okay, so let me just show you. So let's just show this hand out just to see how it goes. So I'm gonna put us in game. I'm tempted to open 4 spades, to be honest, just to be quicker, but it'll probably be we'll just do a quick auction here, and so we'll probably be a Benji 2 for those of you who play Benji. If you were playing just 3 week 2s, you'd probably open it 1 spade. Okay. With an ace and a king, you'd give a positive. I think this hand would be 3 spades and 4 spades. So let's. Sorry, I'm not on Q plus. Sorry. Apologies. There you go. So we're in 4 spades. I've had a little auction there. Again, if you play Benji, it's not an unreasonable 2 club bid to show 8 playing tricks and spades. I think probably playing 3 week 2s, you'd probably open at 1 spade. It would then go 1 no trump, and you'd have to decide what to do. You might bid 4 spades, I guess. I don't know, but okay. So the lead's the 4 of diamonds. Let's just see how it goes. We play small and an ace, and I'm not settling for 10 tricks. Greed is good. Most important thing is, whatever you do, okay, whatever you do, do not try and ruff clubs. That's not gaining tricks, not interested in ruffing a clubs. So I'm going to duck a heart. Generally in this kind of situation, duck a heart, because then you can lead a heart from either hand. Now, South has won that trick, and if South wishes, he can lead a diamond and give his partner a ruff. But we're not worried about that, are we? Because it has not ruffed one of our winners. Can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So at this point, North can do anything he wants. He leads a heart, might as well. We can win our ace, and we get our extra trick. Notice I'm only ruffing once, so why not use the 9 of spades? And that's crucial here. Ruff with the 9 of spades just in case. Okay, something might go wrong, and now we're going to draw trumps. And the rest, of course, are ours. So we've pursued an extra trick, and the extra trick was that heart ruff. And we pursued it because we felt that we were in a safe place. Okay? That I wasn't worried about anything going wrong. So what I'm trying to do is work out how the play might go. Now, the reason I'm showing you this hand is because I'm going to show you a very, very similar hand. And what's interesting with this hand, it shows the power of aces. You've got control in, I'm showing you it again, the ace of hearts, the ace of diamonds, and the ace of clubs. You've got control of every suit. Okay, that was the full hand as you've seen it. Let's go to this one. And you've actually got an extra point in the east hand. Have a think about this one. Okay. Sorry, someone asking how you know the lead is a singleton. It's whenever they lead your strongest suit, okay, and they've led the very lowest card they can. Notice you've got the 3 and 2. It is possible that North has chosen to lead from a 4-card suit. Well, then his partner would have a singleton. But most of the time, surely, I mean, we don't generally lead from 4 to the Queen. We certainly don't lead from 4 to the Queen Jack. We would lead the Queen from that. So, and from 4 to the Queen Jack 10. So it's very unlikely. Okay. So we've got no club ace this time. So I want you to think now. What you're going to do. Okay, so I want you to think about, does this change your thing? Okay, so you can play ace in another heart, but generally ducking a heart allows you more flexibility. However, I want you to think about this hand. 9 top tricks now. I've given you 9 top tricks, not 10. So on the last hand you could have done, but generally ducking a heart gives you flexibility. Maybe they lead a spade at trick 2 and you can win the 9. And then you could play a heart to the ace and a heart ruff, if that makes sense. So by ducking gives you the best of both worlds. You, as I say, if they switch to trumps, if they decide to, you could win with the 9, and who knows, if they led from, it's not going to often make much difference. Okay. Yeah, so good point. A number of people are saying the 4 diamonds is likely to be leading from non. Remember, if you've got 8 diamonds between you, you start to think about them leading from shortage rather than length. So if they lead a heart in this hand, you're expecting the chances are it's from length. When they lead your strongest suit, okay, okay, well then very often they will be leading from shortage. Not always, but what you've got to do is try to concede. So it's a really good point. A number of people are saying that. How do you know it's from shortage? Well, whenever you're long in the suit, you tend to think weak. When you're strong in the suit, sorry, whenever you're long in the suit, you tend to think they're more likely to be short. Whenever you're short in the suit, you're not always going to be right. You're not always going to be right. But certainly when you've got 8 cards in the suit like here, you've got to work out what they could possibly have. And remember, as I say, you're missing the Queen Jack 10 of diamonds. So if, for example, if North had 4 diamonds, a lot of the time North would have Queen Jack 10 or Queen Jack or Jack 10, in which case she wouldn't have led the 4 either. So what are you going to do here? Again, let's assume North has got a singleton diamond. 9 top tricks. We can make extra tricks from 3 different places: diamonds, clubs, or ruffs. Okay. However, we've decided that we think the lead is probably a singleton. So, should we pursue more tricks? Well, in theory, if we think it's a singleton, we can't really make extra tricks from diamonds, but we can surely make a club trick and maybe a heart ruff. So we might be able to make 11 tricks. Okay, we might be able to make 11 tricks, but as a number of you are pointing out, we're a bit worried about a diamond ruff, because if we win the ace of diamonds and let them have the lead with a heart, maybe South gives his partner a ruff and then can get the lead again in clubs. And this is the power of having the aces, because South might have the ace of clubs. He might ruff another diamond. They might get 2 diamond ruffs. Okay, so we're going to make 10 tricks. I want 11 if possible. And of course, what we've worked out, I think, what a lot of people have worked out here is exactly, a number of you saying, now play clubs first. I think if North has the ace of clubs, I like it. So I'm going to lead, and I will find out who has the extra club trick. Can you see? If North has the ace, he's in a real pickle, isn't he? He's in a real pickle, and we'll see that. So the question is, are you happy if they're roughing? Okay. Oh, I see, you're frozen. So I thought everybody was saying it was a frozen suit. We seem to be going all right now. Hopefully it's unfreezing. Hopefully it's unfreezing. Sorry, I thought everybody was commenting that there was a frozen suit. Sorry, on the chat people have been saying frozen, and there's me looking for the frozen suit and I couldn't find it. Okay, so hopefully you're back. There must have been a slight... We've had a few internet problems here. Okay, let's look to the hand on Q+, if that's right. So I'm going to put you on Q+ because I do need to show you this played through. So here's the hand. We're in 4 spades. And again, we're going to win. We are going to win with our ace of diamonds. But we're not going to play hearts first. And the reason is, well, let me show. I tell you what, it's going to be easier to open all the hands. So let's open them up. Okay. So let's say here, let's say you tried the same as last time. And we tried for the heart ruff. Look what happens. Okay. South can win it. Can play a diamond back. They get a ruff, but unfortunately, South's going to get the ace of clubs and going to give his partner another ruff. Oh, God. Oh, excuse me. You didn't hear that. If I'm playing the South hand, I'm going to quickly check there. There we go. South can lead another diamond. And, of course, they get another ruff. Okay. So that's really nasty. Okay. But I think we could predict that because we didn't have the aces in each suit. So let me just go back if that's all right. The 4 of diamonds is led. We win the ace and we are playing a club first. Okay. And this is where we discover whether we pursue the extra trick. So it goes to the king and ace. Unfortunately, South had the ace, so the queen of diamonds is led. It's ruffed up there. But that's okay, we've made 10 tricks. We're not going to lose any more. We're going to lose 1 heart trick, of course, but we're not going to pursue the heart ruff. So whatever they do, let's say they play a club, we would win the queen. And we would discard a heart there. Okay, and that would be 10 tricks made. Okay, we have to lose a heart at the end. Okay, but we couldn't afford to go for the heart ruff because unfortunately South had the ace. What I want you to show you is this though. What happens if we give North the club? And this is the crucial. So let's do it. I've got to quickly go through the bidding again. Now, to make things easier, if that's all right, I'm just going to bid 4 spades, okay? Because I want us just to be in 4 spades. So, and again, we're going to get the 4 of diamonds lead. Okay, to the 10 and ace like that. And now, of course, we're going to try a club. And what I'd like you to do is just decide what you're going to do with the North hand. What are you going to do with the North hand now? It's really tricky, isn't it? And the good news is, here is that it makes no difference for North. He will feel bad whatever he does, but it makes no difference. And can you see why? Can you see why? I agree with someone suggesting that you might lead a small diamond when you're in with the diamonds. I would have well. So I was doing what Q+ had chosen to do. Okay. So the 7 of clubs, what's interesting is if South puts the ace up, can everybody see that we'll make 11 tricks? Clearly we're making both the king and queen. So if we put the ace up there, we can now make the king and queen of clubs. So we've got 6 spade tricks, ace of hearts, king of diamonds. We've already made the ace of diamonds and the king and queen of clubs. You know, so it's not necessarily good for North to put the ace up. Okay. However, if North plays small, the beauty is What are you going to do if you win the queen of clubs there? What's your next play? Well, the beauty here is we can now pursue our heart ruff. Remember, greed is good. Okay, greed is good. Right, remember, we've got the king of diamonds entry at some point. Once we've drawn trumps, we can always get to the king of diamonds. Okay, greed is good. So once I've won the queen of clubs there, you might think North should have played the ace. We've already decided if North plays the ace, it's easy for East-West, for declare, because the king, queen of clubs are going to be entries. Okay, you just draw trumps and you've got the king of diamonds to take your 2 club tricks. Okay, all right. So instead, North ducks, but look at this. I'm going to pursue my heart ruff. So it goes jack, small, small. Yes, we can give partner a ruff. Let's play a diamond. But what can they do now? Can you see that? I can still manage to take my ruff. As I say, I'm afraid to say greed is good. It's terrible, isn't it? But that's it. So nothing that North can do. North makes it much more difficult if he ducks, though. Makes it much more difficult. Okay, I think a lot of people here would, if North ducks the first club, would actually just draw trumps and think, oh great, maybe. All right. But instead, once North's ducked a club, I know they can't get 2 diamond ruffs because they can't get back to each other's hand. Cool, that's greedy, isn't it? So I don't know what he does. He probably plays a trump, let's say. We might as well put the 9 and 10. Ace. We take the ace of hearts. Ruff a heart. And then we ruff back to hand to draw the trumps. Queen of spades. Ooh. And the jack of spades checking for lurkers, obviously. And then you've got your king of diamonds, obviously, and then 2 trumps. Okay. So we've made 11 tricks. Whatever North does, it's really nasty for North. It's one of those situations, and quite often people will. I mean, what's interesting when you're North on this hand, actually, most people will prefer to have played the ace because they'll feel they've taken the club trick. Actually, the best play is to duck the club. It doesn't feel good, and your partner will probably moan at you. But actually, I think if you duck that first club, a lot of declarers won't pursue the heart ruff. They won't be greedy enough. They'll be glad to have made that king of clubs, and maybe they'll think, oh great, I've got away with that. Okay, but once you've got away with the club, that's when you go back to hearts. Okay, so that is not easy. Okay, so that first one, the most important thing on this hand was you played a club first. So the first layout we saw, we played a club, it lost to the ace, and we made 10 tricks. But the reason we played clubs first is to find out whether we should be aiming for the heart ruff. If South wins it, we end up with 3 losers, a diamond, ruff, a heart, and the ace of clubs. The key is, so we settle for 10 tricks, the key is when North has the ace, by playing a club at trick 2, North is stuffed. If he ducks, you pursue your heart ruff, and that's the crucial thing. Clearly, if he goes up with the ace, you've got your king and queen of clubs there. Okay. And remember, you've got to draw trumps and then use your king of diamonds. I mean, if they somehow managed to, I suppose if North had 4 diamonds or 3 diamonds, I'm not sure, queen 10-4, pretty unusual lead, but if North had lead queen 10-4, if he played a diamond, we'd have to win the king and cash our king, queen of clubs there and then, because as someone said, not easy for entries. So in a way, they were difficult hands. They were difficult hands, okay? Yeah, Pam, someone might have led from 4-5 jack, but it is a very unusual lead. So you absolutely, your opponents might have chosen for some reason to lead from 4-5 jack, but it seems very, very unusual. Okay, very, very unusual. Okay, so what you're thinking is, what are the chances of the lead? Really important this, when your opponents, when your opponents make a lead, you try to assess what it is. And generally, if you've got a lot of length in the suit, the most likely lead is going to be from shortage. Yes, they could have led from 4-5 jack, they could have led from 4-5 queen. How often do you, if you were dealt cards and you had a singleton in them, you'd probably lead them just like that. If you were dealt cards and you had the 4-5 and queen in them, I hope, or 4-5 jack, I hope you wouldn't lead it often. Okay, but it's up to you, don't get me wrong. You've got to try and make an assessment. It is absolutely true that the lead could be from a 4-card suit, it could even be from a 3-card suit, but I would say the odds are probably, I said 8-1, maybe 5-1, I don't know, but generally the odds are going to be a singleton. Interestingly, when you play live or even online, if they make an opening lead very quickly, I could almost guarantee that it's a singleton. And now, you're allowed to know that. The partner isn't, but as opponents, you're allowed to watch, you're allowed to see that they've made a confident lead. And for me, if it's a confident lead and straight out there, it'll be a singleton. If they take a lot of time on the lead, they've probably got a difficult lead, in which case you can maybe suggest that it's not a singleton. And as I say, the partner's not allowed to know that, but the opponents are. So if your opponent thinks and thinks and thinks and then makes a lead, they've probably got aces here, a singleton trump, maybe they don't know what to lead. Okay, in which case you could conceive of them leading, it's unlikely to be a singleton if they haven't led it quite quickly. So, that's a fair idea, fair enough point. So if they've taken a fair bit of time over the lead, then you might contemplate that it's not. Okay. All right, quick little note on the promotion. The promotion of this week, I've just got to see, I think is a seminar. You've got a seminar on trump control. So that's sold at half price. For those of you who are interested, don't forget, if you're a member, at any point you can look at that yourself. You don't have to pay for that. Okay, but if you are interested, that's the promotion for this week. We generally have one special offer per week. You'll have seen the beginners software there. We're hopeful that in about a month's time, month and a half's time maybe, we'll see. We're hopeful that we're going to have that as part of the membership, that you will actually be able to play the beginners stuff and refer to the beginners notes and things like that, and novice notes on the website. But that's to come. We've been busy on holidays, etc. So hopefully that will come soon. Okay, let's go back to our hand evaluation. Let's just go back to that and see what we think. That is, I've got to remember where I am now. I think it's that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the full hand here, and then we're going to discuss it. So we're just looking at the south hand to start, if that's all right. How do I feel about it? First and foremost, this is quite a good hand. However, the way I would feel about it is this. If my partner bids hearts in any big way, I start getting depressed about the hand. It's not a hand that I particularly want to play in no trumps. So therefore if I've got a misfit, I'm not happy. But if I've got a fit, I love aces. I love aces. Okay, and that's the crucial thing on a hand like this. If we're playing in a suit contract, I love aces. If I'm playing in anything else, I don't. So if I'm defending against no trumps or playing in no trumps, I'm depressed about the hand. I've just got 3 cards. Don't get me wrong, there's still three winners. But if I find a fit, I love this hand. This hand is better than 6 losers. Okay, because it's all of the high cards are aces, and we talked about that in hand evaluation. We were talking about that over the last 2 or 3 weeks. The losing trick out would be undervaluing this hand. So I would be opening this hand 1 diamond here. Okay, do you know, I think I've got the sound on my phone, excuse me. Okay, so it goes a diamond. Pass, obviously, from west. It now goes a spade. And this east chose to bid 2 hearts. Okay. I think it's this hand is definitely an opening bid. There's no reason to downgrade it at all. I have some sympathy for those of you who pick up a completely flat sorry, a 4-4-3-2 or something like that with 3 bare aces. I don't mind if you really want to pass it if you're a flat hand, okay? But with a distributional hand with 3 bare aces, the hand is exciting, okay? Those of you who play weak jump overcalls, you could contemplate a 3-heart bid there. I don't mind that, you're non-vulnerable. This hand, I mean, it is quite a strong hand. That's the only thing, it's quite a strong hand, but with Jack 10s and 10s and 9s and things like that, but I don't mind 3 hearts, okay? So at this point, I don't remember, North has just shown 6 points, so you don't want to be going gung-ho. You don't want to be going gung-ho with the South hand here. Okay, with the South hand, but you do want to be quite excited. Remember, your partner's only shown 4 spades as well. So I think it's a tricky bid here. It depends on your style. Some Souths will double. Do not bid 3 clubs though, whatever you do. 3 clubs is a very, very strong bid. Okay, so I think you've got a choice between doubling, okay, we're assuming you play that as takeout, or 2 spades. Okay, it's a much stronger bid than 2 spades, but your partner might be sitting with just 4 spades. So I don't mind. Problem I have with 3 clubs is that's generally game forcing. Okay, so if you're happy that double is takeout in this auction, you could double. If it had gone 3 hearts, I probably feel I have to bid 3 spades on the hand. Okay, all right, but the key on this hand is that you are excited about it. You are excited about it because you feel once your opponents start bidding your void, you're excited. If your partner bids your void, you're not. Does that make sense? So once your opponents start bidding your void, you're starting to get excited. So I might just bid 2 spades here. I don't mind double, depends on how you play it. Okay, here 3 hearts from West, they're bolstering it. Okay, North's got a lovely hand. Now I don't think we're going to bid to a slam, but what I want to show you, we're going to finish I think in 4 spades, to be honest. Your partner's probably, knowing how well the 2 hands fit, is going to bid 4 spades, I think, and that's probably going to win the auction. And as I say, I don't feel the need for us to be able to bid to 6 spades, but I want you to see the power of those aces when you've got a fit. Okay, the power of those aces. And as you can see here, it turns out that the slam would have been reasonable if the trumps had broken. When the trumps don't break, things are a bit nasty. Okay, but if the trumps break, you'd be quite happy to have been in a slam, wouldn't you? Okay, with the trumps not breaking, slam will be a tricky element because you'll probably try to make it in a particular way. So you'd feel a bit aggrieved. I don't think it's easy to bid to a slam. You've only got, I mean, what have you got? 23 points between you. But I just want you to look at the South hand and see the power of aces. Okay, and that's why I'm saying I quite like the hand. Make it a flatter hand, and you're thinking about no trumps. Now 3 bare aces, but when you're hoping to be in a fit, okay, that's where you're going. If you hadn't, someone asking if you hadn't have opened the bidding, it would have probably gone past a spade. Your partner would have opened a spade 3rd in hand. Again, 2-heart overcall. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you'd probably double again, I think. Yeah, so I mean, I can restart that if you want. I mean, someone wanted to see if you passed. As I say, I do not like pass at all. Do not like that at all. I think you've got a really good opening hand there. Okay, and that's important. But if it did go pass, remember a spade, it could be is a light 3rd in hand bid. 2 hearts, let's say. You would double to start with. Just a takeout double. 3 hearts. You can see it's becoming a little bit more difficult for us. Okay. All right. I mean, double is a normal bid on the first round because you could have a massive fit in one of the minors, in which case you might find a slam there. But don't get me wrong, I don't really want to look at this auction in detail because I feel you've got much better than an opening hand as a South hand. Okay. Anyway, let's leave that there. I think we've done enough on that. I've just got to come here. I'm a bit behind, so let's come here. So tip of the day. Tip of the day. Avoid roughs in the long hand. I know I've said it enough times, but I like simple tips. And I don't want you roughing in your long hand unless you've got a very good reason. The most common one is they force you to rough. Well, that's a different matter. But do not do it yourself unless you've got a really good reason. There are reasons, but as long as you understand, you do not gain tricks by roughing in the long hand. So you'll have all seen hands that I've set before, you know, where I say don't rough in the long hand. Here, 4 spades, have a little think about it. And, you know, generally when I look at this, it's a very simple one. And the reason I do this is a simple tip of the day. Yeah, a simple tip of the day is this. Look, we love singletons. We're taught to love singletons. When we're a beginner and novice, we love them and therefore we use them. So a lot of novices will win the ace of clubs and rough a club. And that's why I want to emphasize we do not do that. Because most of the time I'm making 5 spade tricks here. We're hoping that we could just draw the trumps. And if I can draw the trumps, well then I'll make all of those lovely diamonds. Excuse me. Now there is a possibility that the trumps break 5-1 and roughing a club might work okay. Now there are good reasons, don't get me wrong, for experts, and a number of James and Steve are both mentioning those there. There are reasons for roughing in the long trump hand, but they're good reasons and you've thought about them and you'd have made an extensive plan to get there. But the one thing I'm really trying to stop you doing is this: win a lead and then rough in your singleton. So many novices do that. And I understand why. They're thinking, well, I've got a singleton, why shouldn't I use it? But I only want you to use it if you're gaining a trick. Here, I'm going to win the ace of clubs and try and draw trumps. When trumps break 4 and 2, I can draw them all. And then just knock out the ace of diamonds. It's a nice, I hope, straightforward hand. You start with 6 tricks, you're going to make a long trump, hopefully, and 4 extra diamond tricks. So you're hoping to make over tricks here. Okay, so all you need to do is draw trumps, okay, and then knock out the ace of diamonds. So here's the full hand. South has 4 spades, and as long as we win the ace of clubs and draw them all, we've still got a trump left in our hand. We then knock out the ace of diamonds, la-di-da, and we end up making all of those diamonds, okay, other than the ace, of course. So you make 5 spade tricks, 4 diamonds and 2 aces. Okay, so if you don't rough a club, you will make 11 tricks. If you do rough a club, it gets painful. You'll actually go down. Because if you rough a club and then draw trumps, that's all your trumps gone. As soon as they win the ace, they can take all their club winners. But if you don't draw trumps, well, they'll win the ace of diamonds and carry on leading clubs anyway, and you'll run out of trumps that way. So if you do rough a club, you will lose control of the hand and actually go down. Whereas, clearly, you shouldn't be roughing in your long hand. So it's a very simple rule, that. Okay? And there are ways, experts will talk about different methods of when we do rough in a long hand. And of course, when I talk about suit establishment, that will be one of them, or this and that. Okay? We're not knocking out the ace of diamonds first. We're drawing trumps, okay? We win the ace of clubs, we draw the trumps. We're not knocking out the ace of diamonds first, okay? Okay, we said we'd win the ace of clubs and then draw trumps. Really important, that, okay? All right, but we do not rough a club. That's the key. Of course, after we've drawn trumps and we knock out the ace of diamonds, if they lead a club, that's when we rough a club. Okay, and no point, well, I don't think, maybe, I'm sorry if I did, okay, but as far as I know, I said I'd win the ace of clubs and draw trumps, okay? Okay? All right, you don't want to be playing diamonds first, because of course if one of them had a singleton, they'd win the ace and they'd get a rough, okay? All right? So, very simple hand, and there'll be a lot of them. And it's, for some of you beginners, it'll take you a long time to get out of that habit, Okay, it'll take you a long time to get out of the habit of ruffing in the singleton because it's an exciting thing to do, and I understand why, because you've been told that singletons are exciting. Okay, but actually the most exciting thing is making extra tricks. So when the singleton is in the short trump hand, that's when we get really excited about it. Okay, if trumps break 5-1, it's a bad day. Okay, remember we talked about this when we were thinking about extra tricks from ruffing. 5-1 breaks are not so likely. They're going to come up less than 20% of the time. Okay, it's closer to 15%, in fact slightly less. So, you know, you don't worry so much about them. Of course, if they do come up, so be it. You draw some, you know, but you're likely to go down if they break 5-1 anyway, because they're going to be able to keep playing clubs against you. And certainly if you've ruffed a club, you'll go down, okay? North on that hand had 2 10s, so it might have looked as though North had, yeah, that's all right. A number of people, funnily enough, have asked me, why don't I use T for 10? I used to, at one stage I did, people didn't like it. People didn't like it. I do like, computers love you to use T for 10s, okay, because they only want 1 digit, okay, but I found a lot of people prefer the 1-0. It's interesting, so you can give me your opinions on that. But the problem with 1-0 is it makes the suits look longer, so it's up to you. Anyway, let's look at this bidding quiz to finish off. Okay, so 1 heart from your left-hand opponent, 1 spade from your partner, pass. 1 heart, 1 spade from your partner, pass, and it's your bid. Okay, we're coming towards the end of this set of bidding quizzes, and then we're going to move them on to another, make them a little bit trickier. So 1 heart, 1 spade overcall from your partner, pass, and it's your bid. Okay, well, that sums it up there. Two opinions. I don't like T for 10, and I much prefer T for 10. That's sort of interesting, and it keeps on going down, so there you go. It's often the way. So have a go at that. Don't forget, you can get the answer on the website, or as a member or as a non-member. So thanks for that. Sorry about the length of today. I am promising that I am going to try and keep these close to 40 to 45 minutes rather than overrunning, and my wife will be telling me off after this one. Don't forget to visit our new website, holiday website, and do please give us your feedback on it. Okay, and again, that's for members or non-members. Don't forget. Okay, my wife is asking who the prize winner is. That's Paul Goulet. Paul Goulet is our prize winner, and I'll draw his position at the table next week. Okay, so well done, Paul Goulet. I will be sticking to the 10, those of you who are saying 10, please. And I'm afraid to say for the T's, T for 10s, the 1-0s are winning, I'm afraid. So we will stick for 1-0s at the moment. So thanks for your company. Enjoy the week. Enjoy going out a little bit. Be careful, as the government are trying to say, but I think we all deserve to go out once this week at least. So and I tell you what, cheer up the restaurateurs. They probably need some cheering up, all the pub owners, all the landlords, etc. Okay. Hopefully see you later. Thanks very much.